In just a few minutes, we'll meet Bruce Sandifer and learn more about the skills of the rancho. Okay, so Bruce, I wanted to ask you about little Bruce, little 13-year-old Bruce who reads Ed Connell's Rainsman of the West, and it changed your life, didn't it?
Yeah, it sure did. In the country that I was at, there was horsemen and good cowboys, but there wasn't that kind of refined and beautiful looking horsemanship that was described in Ed Cannell's books and Ernie Morris's pictures and stuff like that. To me, that was just very romantic, and it kind of started a lifelong search to find that kind of horsemanship and skills.
And you took it to going to ranches and learning various things from ranches early in life, didn't you?
Yeah, I pretty much, from time I left school, I've been working on different ranches all over the country, Canada, all the way down to Texas. And I wanted to learn as much from the different people as I could. And I always came back. I thought I wanted to be a trainer for show horses and things like that. And I always came back to the Californio method. And it's just always been something that I've never quite gotten as good as I want it to be. I've been close and I've been close, but it's never been quite the same. But it seems like every year it gets a little bit more understandable and refined. Yeah.
Tell us what that method is. Can you describe it?
Well, it's so much different. Most methods are based on getting the horse to release the pressure. And I believe the Californio system is a balanced system. The size of the spade bit, people are afraid of spade bit. Spade bit is such a mild bit when you really understand it. But it really gets that horse to feeling of your body. So your body is your main change of balance. And the bit just goes along with your body. So when you change your balance, the horse just follows that balance change, and you can just change your posture. See, when I lift myself up, that horse comes up into me, and it's just such it's an intriguing thing because it doesn't matter. It's like being a musician. No matter how long you play the instrument, you can always advance. So there's always a place to go to.
I think that's so great for our viewers to hear because, you're a lifelong cowboy professional, and listen, you're still learning.
Oh, I learn every day. Every time I think I know something, I realize I don't.
Let's talk about the horses because you've said that, anybody can learn to dance, but some people dance better than others. What are the qualities you look for?
Well, I just look for balance in a horse because it's a balanced system. I want a balanced horse, something that's doesn't have too long a neck or too long a back, that's not going to, like athletic people, they have a certain build. You want an athletic build. Dancers, they have a certain form to them. And that's what I look for. And it doesn't have to be any breed. It just, you can see it. They look like they belong. Every part belongs together. And that's what I look for.
Yeah. Now, we came to interview you at this clinic, learning the skills of the rancho.
Not
and
a clinic.
It's not a clinic.
It's
okay.
A competition.
Okay.
This is actual competition, and this is kind of the child of a long desire to not only incorporate. People talk about the Californio horsemanship. Well, there's also this Californio stockmanship and roping styles. And I think that in this day and age, it's a very sustainable type of ranching. It's very cattle friendly, horse friendly, and also people friendly because everything's slowed down. Everything's done through thought more than speed and action. Yeah. And so, or it should be done well. And that has a sustainability. The horses last longer, the people don't get hurt as much, the cattle are better, they don't lose the pounds, it's not ram and jam, everything's for speed, and it builds to something. One of the main things we all hear in the Californio style is that mañana term, mañana, and that's like, well, a lot of people think that's putting things off till tomorrow. I believe that mañana means we don't do things today that won't make tomorrow better. So that's what we take the time to build the foundation with the Californio Bridle Horse Association, which we just established. No horses shown before it's 4. They start in the hackamore, go to the 2-rein, then into the bridle. Doesn't have to be a spade bit, but we'd like to bring that back because it is such a lost art.
Yes.
And so everything's done with care. You can keep your horse into a hackamore longer. You know, the steps are not about today, it's about what you're building for in the future.
Well, you've got a big crowd here, so obviously people are receptive to your idea.
I think, well, it's not my idea. Nothing I do, you know, all I'm trying to do is just leave, you know, have a flicker of candlelight towards the past masters, because there was men in this country that were phenomenally good that nobody will ever hear of or know of. And if I can keep a little bit of that alive, I would, you know, I'm humbled by that.
This is the first event competition with your association, correct?
Yes, that's true. And what we're trying to do a little bit differently here is that the way we judge it, we're judging an overall picture. So myself and Rick Walt, who's my co-judge, what we're looking at it is from a ranch owner or a cow boss's perspective, like we're auditioning a crew.
Yeah.
And so what we're doing is we're looking at these guys and we're going, okay, now they handle cattle, how they're handling the horses. We're treating them like we own that, and we're going to pay their workman's comp if they get hurt, if they're not efficient, if they're not smooth, if they're not working in a sustainable way that's going to, you know, they'll still be here tomorrow, healthy.
Yes.
With cattle, horses, and people. So that's kind of how we're doing it, and we're trying to set up events that are really not only tip their hat to the old ways, but also are still very relevant in today's ranching.
Very practical, it sounds like.
Yes, and that's the whole thing. The shots and the fancy shots and things like that are in other competitions, we still give points for those things. However, our main focus is on smoothness and efficiency and sustainability.
Now, tell us about your horse.
Oh, this horse? This is Mooney. Yeah, Mooney is, I think he's 9. And I started him, I guess, when he was 4, 3.5 or 4. And he's probably my furthest along horse that I have right now. He's straight up in the bridle. He's been that way for about a year now. And he's coming along. I think that someday we're going to make a good team.
So what does straight up in the bridle mean?
Straight up means there's no 2-rein or anything. It's just the bit that's controlling him. Usually we use the 2-rein, which is a hackamore under the bit, and to try to just relate the balance change we built in the hackamore to the bridle. And so now he's finding that. It's not worked off of leverage, off the curb strap. If you'll notice, when I pick up on this horse, that curb strap is totally loose. You're not trying to engage that. You're trying not to engage that.
Yes.
So that's kind of what we're going for.
Bruce, tell us your website.
It's well, you got me. Bruce Sandifer, Californio Bridle Horses, or cvh.com.
Super. And one last thing was I went on your website to learn more about you, and I love that you said on it that horses are a privilege. And I think you said that you need to enjoy the journey, something we need to remind ourselves every day.
Absolutely. I think so many people miss the real exciting things that they want that finished horse, and along the way you can learn so much about horses and so much about yourself if you just pay it more attention. If you learn to put something else ahead of your own needs, I think it's the most valuable lesson we can learn these days.
Thank you so much, Bruce.